The deep silence of the Galactic Council chamber was broken only by the soft hum of hovering data screens. Hundreds of species, representatives of countless star systems, had gathered to discuss the growing unrest along the outer rim. Galactic politics had always been a delicate dance of ego, power and influence, but today it seemed heavier than ever. Rumors of a new power in the galaxy had begun circulating. Earth, a small, blue-green planet in a remote system, largely ignored until now, had been quietly expanding its influence and, more importantly, its technology. For decades, the Galactic Council had dismissed humanity as inconsequential. Primitive, fragile, and untested against the harshness of the universe, humans were considered barely worth noting beyond the occasional trade agreements. But whispers of their capabilities had begun to spread like wildfire among the fringe systems. Whispers of ships that could withstand radiation storms, of engines that could outperform even the Council's mid-tier cruisers, and of humans who could think and adapt in ways no other species could match. Ambassador Therix of the Krillian Hive shifted nervously in his seat, antennae twitching. "Are these claims credible?" he asked, his voice a series of harmonic tones that seemed to echo unnaturally. "A species so young, yet capable of building warships that rival our own, it must be exaggeration." "Perhaps exaggeration," replied Chancellor Valar, her 6 arms gesturing toward the massive central viewing screen. "But recent reports from the Andari sector suggest otherwise. Entire fleets have been diverted, colonies fortified, and trade routes rerouted because of them. If these humans are as advanced as claimed, ignoring them could be catastrophic." Before the Council could debate further, a sudden ripple of energy filled the chamber. The data screens flickered, displaying a deep space transmission from an unknown vessel approaching the chamber's coordinates. All representatives leaned forward. The image resolved into a massive, gleaming ship, far larger than anything the Council had authorized in the Outer Rim. Its hull shimmered with a technology unfamiliar to even the most seasoned xenotech analysts. A human voice, clear and commanding, echoed through the chamber. "Galactic Council, this is Earth. We have observed your deliberations and we believe it is time for direct communication." Shock rippled through the Council. The audacity alone, arriving unannounced, bypassing centuries of protocol, was almost unbearable. "They know our deliberations?" muttered one of the Andari delegates, his tendrils quivering. "How is that possible?" But before questions could multiply, the human ship activated a series of projection arrays, displaying not weapons, but charts, maps, and images of Council jurisdictions. The humans spoke with precision, outlining economic imbalances, political corruption, and areas where Council policies endangered entire sectors. It was not a threat. It was a revelation. Chancellor Valar's eyes widened. "They have knowledge and insight beyond anything we have documented. How did they acquire this information?" "Analysis suggests highly advanced observational technology, combined with what appears to be unparalleled strategic reasoning," a Krillian advisor whispered. "And they are fast. Faster than our fastest interceptors, faster than the intelligence units we've sent to probe them," the Council murmured in disbelief as the humans continued. They did not demand allegiance. They did not issue ultimatums. Instead, they proposed solutions. Conflicts mediated, trade routes optimized, borders stabilized. The humanity in their approach was evident. Practical, adaptable, and uncompromisingly bold. Ambassador Therix's voice trembled. "How can they think like this? Like they anticipate everything before we even react?" "Because," Valar said quietly, more to herself than anyone else, "humans do not operate like other species. They are unpredictable. They adapt. They improvise." Minutes turned to hours, yet the human's presence remained calm, authoritative, and commanding. No other species could maintain such poise in the face of an entire galactic governing body. And then, the humans delivered the final revelation. They had already secured alliances, resources, and fleets beyond the Council's knowledge. Humanity was no longer a fledgling planet. They had become a force silent, patient, and unstoppable. The chamber fell silent again, but this time it was not the usual tension of debate. It was awe. Fear mingled with respect. The Galactic Council, for the first time in its long history, was confronted with a species it could not control, predict, or underestimate. Chancellor Valar finally broke the silence. Earth, you have changed everything. The Council must consider new protocols. Her tone was formal, but her limbs quivered with an emotion she had not felt in centuries. Genuine respect. Outside the chamber, the human ship lingered, its sensors scanning, learning, observing, but it did not move aggressively. It merely waited, patient as the Council came to terms with the new reality. Humans had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Ambassador Therix turned to his peers, eyes wide. Have we underestimated them for too long? Underestimated? Valar's voice was a mixture of admiration and fear. We never understood them, and now it is too late. In the months that followed, whispers of Earth's capabilities spread to every corner of the galaxy. Human diplomats mediated conflicts that had lasted centuries. Terran engineers redesigned space lanes and stabilized volatile systems, and human fleets, though rarely aggressive, were always present, an omnipresent reminder that a new era had begun. The Galactic Council had been stunned, not because humans had conquered anyone, but because they had arrived with the audacity to act when others hesitated, to observe when others ignored, and to challenge when others assumed dominance. Humanity's presence was not just a force, it was a lesson. And for the first time in galactic history, every species began to realize a simple, terrifying truth. No one could underestimate humans, not ever.